but lock him up.
For what?
For everything, for his demeanor, for locking children up,
for his demeanor,
for locking children up, for lying.
Wait, lady, that started with Obama.
No,
it
bullshit.
Didn't.
Well, if you wanted a video that touches on a whole bunch of sensitive subjects, this would be it. Okay, it all starts out with some guy who points out my pedophile Pizzagate poster, which I'm always kind of surprised how many people recognize the depth of the pedophile networks within our system. I'm always surprised to hear about it. I mean, I've never, having been part of it, it amazes me that it's touched so many other people's lives, and leads credence to the fact that it is out there and part of the satanic network within our system. So it starts out with these two guys, and we start talking about that. Then it gets into the use of children in Sandy Hook, another sensitive subject. And then you can see these guys in the background kind of milling around going, oh, Jesus, this is weird. Should we approach this guy? And eventually they do. And we get interrupted by this cook, this woman who's just, another brain dead liberal, and then it gets a little bit into global warming. Another sensitive subject. And then we get back into the pedophilia and Sandy Hook again, school shootings, false flags. So they're just, all the things that will get me kicked off of YouTube are in this video. Alex Jones, bring up Alex Jones in here. So if you want a controversial video, this would be it. Hey, but it's the streets, I'm going to go with what the people bring up and explore it and go from there. And if you like me out there in the streets, hit all the appropriate like buttons and share it. Counter the censorship, and there are several ways to contribute. We just go to the description and hit one of those buttons. Okay, thank you for coming by. Let's get into this, and I'll see you on the flip side.
Yeah, and if people really knew the full extent of how that is being used by the the elites, political operatives.
It's coming out with, it's like a popular phrase now, Epstein didn't kill himself. Like that's everywhere. So it just seems like more and more of that will bubble up. Definitely a pretty wild time to...
Yeah, if you start looking at all the whole Clinton Foundation running the kids out of Haiti and...
Yeah.
Oh, God, it gets deep. And then we can go in, if we really want to get into it, then we can rush right into the royal family.
Yeah, Prince Andrew, that's my...
Yeah.
Ooh,
yeah.
What he's about to get basically executed. Was it exonerated? No, something like that. They're doing something.
He
might not be royal anymore. You know how bad you have to fuck up to not be royal? All you have to do is have a heartbeat and not die. And you are worth $1 trillion collectively.
Yeah.
All you have to do is not die.
But that's just the tip of the iceberg, and they're just trying to cut that off so they don't find because every now and then a story will pop up about they find a graveyard in a royal estate with a bunch of dead children in it, you know?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it disappears, it goes away, you know? Or whatever happened to that story about it wasn't that long ago where they busted that orgy in the Vatican with a bunch of kids. They were the cops came in and there we were, having an orgy with children, you know?
Yeah, and it's amazing that, like, Ghislaine Maxwell is still hidden.
Yeah.
Like, it's her choice to just, like, I'll come out when I'm ready. Like, what the fuck? Like, go get this lady.
I know. God almighty.
Epstein, and Harvey Weinstein, like, all these types of stories where it's like, they're like, these are just the ones that are being brought forward to keep you busy. Like, how many are, like, existing in the background, still being piles of shit?
What about the one that they had in England, that guy that was the child program?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What was his name?
I can't remember.
Yeah, but, he was an evil-looking son of a bitch. And he was right up there with the royal family. He had a kid show on TV for how many years? It was like, and his thing was, talk about the monarch. Yeah.
It's pretty wild, his connection with... like Epstein's connection with the guy who runs, he owns Vanity Fair, or like the Victoria's Secret, whatever conglomerate owns that. And now all of a sudden, because Jeffrey Epstein was like a predator, they had no idea what Wesley Wexner was doing, and even though he preyed on like people trying to be potential like Victoria's Secret angels, and like basically just like fucking said, oh yeah, I'm not a representative. Yeah, like so, and then he just like miraculously was allowed to operate 2 like $20 million homes that were given to him for free, but he didn't have anything to do with it. Like, what the fuck? Like,
they really think we're stupid, don't they? We're going to listen to this
who
crap.
gets paid.
Yeah.
I go right into like the like off the rail stuff.
I know.
But no, it was good. It's very cool.
Thanks. Well, here's a get out of jail free card from Hillary Clinton for you guys.
Appreciate it.
As you know, it's good for any crime in the world. Pedophilia.
Hopefully it's not the Epstein route.
Check out my YouTube channel on the back. You'll see, and if you like, subscribe. And,
appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. All right, guys. Thanks for being aware.
Yep. Have a good day. Hey, man. How you doing?
Hey. Where are you guys from?
Boston.
Boston?
Austin.
Austin?
Yeah. I don't know if you're into that place.
Well, I mean,
it's too liberal.
Well, I know. Well, Austin sort of turned into like Portland or something, It's like, they really try to,
Those two things to turn around.
How's that, dear? Why don't you explain that one to me?
Very easy.
Okay.
You want her?
I don't want her to be president.
No, I don't want her.
I don't want her to be president, but lock him up.
For what?
For everything, for his demeanor, for locking children up.
For his demeanor?
For locking children up, for lying.
Wait, lady, that started with Obama.
No.
It
bullshit. He not like this guy. He locks children up. He belittles Greta, the girl with the climate.
She needs belittling.
Oh, because she's making you aware? You're old, you're going to die, but all these kids are still going to be here. You'll be gone, they'll be here.
Ma'am, if I may.
What?
I helped start the Institute for Environmental Alternatives with Professor
Then why should Greta be there?
Ma'am, if I may. Please, if you would like to talk, I'd be happy to talk. But, if you have a closed mind like it seems you do, and you're all emotional like you seem to be, there's going to be no reasoning with you because I am trying to talk to you.
You support Trump?
Yes, ma'am.
The man is no good. He's a con man. I live in New York. I see how he got the contractors. I have friends who worked for him who he did not.
I have talked to people that work with him and for him.
Friends who worked for him.
Yes.
And then he decided they didn't do a good enough job and didn't pay them. He's a
Maybe they didn't do a good enough job because I've talked to people that have worked for him that got paid. Okay. Well, thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Very kind.
Speak the truth. Just don't give up. You can't. You just have to pray for him and speak the truth.
Thank you. Here's a get out of he has. Thank you.
I was going to come say like you're doing a good thing. You're being bold. Yeah, and you're right. If you don't do a good job,
benefits from him being president.
Oh, I didn't realize.
That's so many more.
Where are you from?
Alabama, Gulf Shores.
Oh, I love Alabama.
And
That's right.
if you do a crappy job, you don't get paid. That's the American way.
Yes.
You do a good job, you get
Well,
paid.
here's a get out of jail free card from Hillary Clinton for you.
Oh God!
What are you guys doing in Austin? What do you do there?
Working.
You're working?
He has a question.
Sure.
Oh yeah, about we're talking about child sex rings.
Yes.
And Pizzagate, and we got on top of Epstein, and there's a whole meme going around about how Epstein didn't kill himself.
Right.
What's your take on that?
When one anomaly happens, that's an anomaly. That's right. If two things happen, that could be called a coincidence. If three anomalies happen, we're talking about a conspiracy. When we talk about Epstein, we're looking at 30 different anomalies that happened. So there's no way that all those pile of things happen. All the cameras go out. All the guards fell asleep. All they changed guards the night before. All they took the guy that was in his cell out the night before. No. And the pile of stuff this guy knew. Come on, man.
So they definitely did it. They definitely.
Yeah. He was murdered. And then, the guys with autopsies coming out saying there's no way, 99% chance that he was strangled rather than hung.
He could be alive.
Yeah, but I don't think so. I think he just knows too much. I think it'd be too risky to have him alive. Besides, he's no use to them anymore. So, what's he going to do? I mean, what's he going to do? Come out of hiding and go, I'm going to turn everybody in? No, it ain't going to happen. So he was no use to him anymore. So I think they just got rid of him. Yeah. So thanks for being aware anyway, How do you guys stand living in that liberal cesspool in Austin?
These are kind of weird. It's kind of getting weird.
I do know that
there's a lot of people like that lady. They're screaming like,
Yeah.
So especially difficult when you're in the workplace because when it comes to politics, things get very hostile.
Yeah.
And it becomes kind of people don't tolerate each other, right?
Yeah.
I know, it happens on both ends,
It's all our listeners.
Really, yeah. And there's really very little reasoning kind of between both parties, whether you support Trump or whether you don't support him, So I think this is something we need more. Otherwise, it's really not good for anyone.
Oh man,
You're pretty much speaking my language, what I got here, Every now and then, there'll be, a curious little come up that actually has them, or wants to know because they're curious. We have good rapport, but for the most part, a lot of it's like that lady. But you do have Alex Jones there. I mean, he's in town. Well, Alex Jones is in Austin.
Oh, in Austin, yeah. You guys are based out of Austin, right?
InfoWars started from Austin.
Yeah, that's where he's from. That's where he's got his, studios.
I have a question. I don't go down too big a rabbit hole, but Alex Jones, I'm not really too up to date on Alex Jones and everything that he said, but the one thing that stood out to me was he said something about the school shootings being a setup?
Yeah.
How do you, I'm very curious, genuinely curious. How do you feel about that?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So what evidence points towards it being like that? It's I guess.
Well, one, I would, there's the powers that be always play on emotions, because again, intellect doesn't work too well with them. They don't want people thinking, so they always pick on the children. It's always about the children,
right?
So targeting children brings out the emotions.
Right.
Like I was talking to those guys a little while ago about Sandy Hook.
Right, Sandy Hook. Yep, that's a big one. So what happened there? Like, how do we know that Sandy Hook was a?
I will leave you a name to look up.
Okay.
Wolfgang Halbig.
Halbig.
Halbig. Halbig.
Halbig. Okay. Wolfgang Halbig.
Wolfgang Halbig wrote the book on school safety. I mean, he was a state trooper and all this stuff, and then he went ahead and for 20 odd years, 25, 26 years, became one of the, if not the top guy on school safety. He wrote the book on it. testified in over 1,000 cases of school shootings.
How did you hear about
He was retired in Florida when Sandy Hook happened.
Okay.
It's a guy that exposes.
He calls up and says, I will volunteer my services to come up there.
Is he at least trying to
Didn't get a call back.
He what?
Didn't get a call back.
They didn't call him back.
No, and so he says, this is odd.
Right? Okay.
So he started looking into, on his own, Sandy Hook. Because wait, everything that I've taught for 20 odd years is not being followed up there. The procedures, nothing.
Okay.
So the more he started looking into it, the more anomalies he would find that were just totally screwed up. So he says this now.
he's going to get in trouble.
So he is absolutely convinced that the whole thing was staged.
Wolfgang.
Yeah.
Really?
He actually went up there and confronted the school board. And they said, you come back tomorrow, we'll have your answers for you. He goes back to get the answers. Place is surrounded by all these big bull tops. You can't come in, you're a disruptive figure. They wouldn't let him in. They ruined his life. Audits and, they just piled onto this guy.
So, if, correct me if I'm wrong, so the point of view from InfoWars is, was it a staged
Oh, it was
setup?
totally staged.
Did kids actually die, or was it just like
No,
staged?
nobody died there. The school wasn't even open for 4 years. For 4 years, there was no internet service in or out of that school. It was closed.
The school was closed for 4 years?
Yes. It wasn't even open.
Really? Is there any proof I can see?
Oh yeah, there's tons of proof on it. Just research. Keep on researching. Go, look at Wolfgang Halbach's site, and then look at some of the others. They haven't taken them all down.
Right.
But where the more you research this, there have been books written about it.
Yeah.
Right. The more you realize that the entire thing was a hoax. Look. If they can get away with pulling off 9/11.
9/11 was very skeptical of.
Yeah,
So,
if they can kill 3,000 people in 9/11 and get away with it by telling us 19 hijackers brought down 3 buildings.
But 9/11 people actually did die, right? But 9/11 people actually did die.
Oh, sure.
Okay, but Sandy Hook was a
Total
setup,
farce.
just
Total
staged.
farce. Total farce. Completely staged. A total media stage event.
Interesting. I'll look it up. Yeah, very curious.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for the information.
Oh,
what's
it's
your
my
name, by the way?
pleasure. Badass Uncle Sam.
Badass Uncle Sam.
Yeah, and here's a get-out-of-jail-free card from Hillary Clinton.
All right.
It's good for any crime in the world.
Are you part of InfoWars?
I've been on the show a few times. I know a lot of the people that work for them.
What do you think about reptilians? Studied it very much?
In that sense, it gets to the point where you look at what's going down in this world. It gets to a point you go, you wonder if there isn't something outside of us human entities that aren't behind all, because the things that are happening, humans wouldn't do.
They're interdimensional, so they work with.
Indeed. When you start getting this round, we are only looking at about this much of the spectrum around us. I mean,
we're looking at a veneer.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We're in a very sliver of what's really going on around us. If we could see what's really going on around us, there's whole other dimensions and worlds and things going down. Getting into that, I'm having a hard enough time dealing with this.
Yeah.
So I realize, I'm not going to say it doesn't exist, but I can't say it doesn't either.
Well, I guess certain people are involved in that area.
Yeah.
And then certain people not I guess you can't have the whole picture all the time. Like everyone can't have the whole picture, right?
Well, when you look up things like Aleister Crowley, who allegedly opened up portals to that other dimension, and when you look at throughout life, all the different religions, all the different you can't deny that there's obviously other things going on, because every religion, every spiritual aspect all have sort of like these shamans or whatnot that have tapped into.
Being trained as a shaman.
There you go.
So my mentors told me that the 13 families, what they do is they sacrifice children. That energy opens portals, and all that energy opens a portal for it to manifest, and then they do a deal where they might trade technology.
Bloodlines of the Illuminati.
Yeah, so they do deals with these other dimensional beings through those in the rituals.
Thank you.
So that's what he's teaching me. So
yeah,
but
I just say
like people like her. She's definitely part of this.
Yes, absolutely.
Him, he's definitely not. He's helping.
Thank you.
But that's what people can't see. They just see the little veneer, and then they freak out. They're like, "Oh my God!"
Yeah, but when you look into it about the whole, abortion, the sacrifice of people and their children, because it is the blood of children that they seem to, feed off of. That's what they get their energy from. So, it gets good that you're looking at getting into that.
The thing is, the people they can only see that tiny sliver, and the tiny sliver is what they're able to control.
Thank you.
But that's the hard part. How do you convince somebody?
Well,
you can plant the seed.
Yeah,
which is good.
That's all we can do.
But I don't think they're going to win anyway.
Oh no,
it doesn't matter.
No. Because look, one drop of good beats a whole bucket of bad. So
I started thinking just like have compassion for people that they're not able to see it. But they're being helped by, even if they're against Trump, they can't, they're not able to see. So they're still being helped, even though they're ignorant of the information.
It's always a small group of dedicated people that change the course of history.
Yeah.
Most people are just trying to get through life. They're just, doing what is presented to them. So there's people like yourself that are looking, guys like you that are asking questions, and going beyond what is being presented to us. We're the ones that are going to change it. This is what we do. So, and we may never know exactly what our effect may be, but that makes no difference. I mean, the point is, I don't know if I'm going to change this world. I just don't want it to change me. I'm going to do what I'm going to have to do because it's what I've been driven to do, like you are driven to do what you do. You're driven to ask the questions you're driven to, to want to know what you want to know. This is it. I mean, this is what we do. So it works all right.
Good.
All right, guys. So,
hey, thanks a lot.
Thanks so much.
Oh, hey, thank you guys for stopping by. And,
Wolfgang Halbig.
Yeah.
I'll check him out.
Yeah, check him out because it's really quite a story. It's quite a story.
This is fascinating. All right. Yeah. Have a good weekend, sir.
Happy trails.
Yeah. Take care.
Watch these.
So was I wrong there? And it was nice to see so many people awake, though, wasn't it? I mean, even the guy from Austin, recognizing, hey, we live in a liberal cesspool there. And one guy studying to be a shaman. Okay. Interesting. So, anyway, that's what it is. And thanks for coming by. Remember, hit all the appropriate like buttons and carry a share. And please contribute if you can. And remember, if you can't do anything else, pray for me out there because I will be praying for you. God bless you. See you on the streets.